Good evening. This is Dr. Archana from University of Mumbai. Today's session is on research methods. As in on my earlier session, I talk about the data collection method of data collection, which was also useful for the paper which is there in NetSet and PEP. Now basically I will talk on research methods. There are many methods. Before I go to my topic, as this unit 2 of NET paper, you have research aptitude where the requirement of research is that every individual should know the meaning and characteristics of research and types of research. So there are many types of research. Some of them I will take in brief. Today I will just go with one by one methods, and of course the possible question which are asking in your exam I will tell you. Now I think there were 3 sessions as already done in this research methodology. As Professor Wagh has already talked about the format of research, and Professor Magre has already talked about the sampling. Now my role today is to talk about different methods. But when you talk about the research and the research which you are doing for either MPhil dissertation or it is a PhD dissertation, the research requirement is similar. So for this particular unit, students should know the basic concepts are involved in the research, that is hypothesis, variables, sampling and different methods. Without knowing what is that, you cannot understand the research or research methodology. So the requirement is to understand these concepts. As I said, I will just talk about the method, but I will definitely omit the part that is hypothesis, variables, sampling and all. But in my first session, which was on data collection, methods of observation and data collection, I said that the research journey is actually has 3 stages. So I told that in the initial stage, you are confused with what you want to do. That means you are struggling with the research problem, which problem you have to discuss or take for the study. So formulating your research problem, that is your first stage. Then you plan how to formulate that research problem, particular research issues which you would like to do in your MPhil dissertation or PhD thesis. So this planning is nothing but you are designing your research work. So to design the research work, you need methods. And then actual application, that means once you decide what is your problem of research, issues which you want to do, then you have to plan which methodology you will adopt to draw your research, and then once you plan, you start working. So the planning has required one side method, and the other side you have to start collecting the material. So as Professor Sandesh has already talked about the format of research, I will just briefly tell you how to this method, where this method comes. Now, as we know, in I think in every university almost formats are similar. Methods depends on your discipline. As you are doing research in your area, your discipline, as I belong to philosophy, so if I wish to do further research, so I have a choice: disciplinary research and interdisciplinary research. So I have a choice. I can think about interdisciplinary as well, but whether it is disciplinary research or interdisciplinary, I need methodology. So before planning and all, without knowing what is research and which are the methods, how can you go ahead? So all the three stages are very important. Like first, you have to formulate your research issue or problem. Then, of course, you have to construct your planning. So how to do it? So you need material. Data collection is required. So there, literature review, that section is there, and then methodology. Because while doing actual practice of method, you will give the chapterization, and this chapterization is based on your what you want to find out, what the issues, what the method you are using for the research, and what is your contribution. So because it's a research, research has already done, now you are revisiting the same issues, so you are doing something new, your contribution is very much important. So in the research format, whether it is an MPhil dissertation or the thesis, as I said, format is almost similar. So in the introduction way, you have to give your theme of the issue, and whatever you have chosen the issue, what is the importance and significance of that, you have to give a reason for it. Then for showing your or working with the research problem, you have to start with the hypothesis. As I said earlier, if you do this, then you will get it. Or if you have any problem, like there are two variables always, P, Q. So you have to give a hypothesis. If you follow this, you will get the result is based on your hypothesis. Whether it change or remain same, that's another question. So you have to give the hypothesis, which is based on your research problem. You have to give your aim and objective, because this is all related to your issue which you are dealing with for your research. And then on the basis of issue, you have to do review of literature. And this review of literature is nothing but the data collection that will be a primary or secondary sources, which is very useful for you. You will not read any SI koi bhi book which is not useful for your work. So you will select some literature, whether it is primary or secondary, or third sources are also there, so you can use that. So the first part is your planning. Then second, when you start functioning, there you have to design your whatever is there in the concept or the problem or the issue. You have to design your work, and there methods play important role. So research methods is nothing but the tool which you are using, or you want to just put your thought related to your research issues with a particular methodology. You will consistently following the same method till the end of your work, and you will, from the beginning to end, you will formulate or construct your ideas. So that is design, research design. So you need method to design your work, and therefore you have the other point there, that scope of limitation. they you can't do everything on your research. If you have already chosen a particular area or particular issue for your research work, then you could stick with that, and the related whatever material or whatever subtopics or sub materials are there, you have to work with that, and you have to just frame everything on that context. You should not forget your context. So you have a limitation. As I am doing research on Buddhism or Neo-Buddhism like Dr. Ambedkar, so I have to stick with the thought of Dr. Ambedkar. I can compare, definitely. I can compare the theory which Dr. Ambedkar has given. I can compare with the other contemporary thinkers. But when my research topic is basically on Neo-Buddhism or Dr. Ambedkar's Buddhism, a philosophy of Dr. Ambedkar, then I have to stick with that. I should not go beyond my suggested theme. So there is a limitation. Otherwise, some people, with my experience I am telling you, and I think almost all the guides have the same experience. Some people just want to fill the pages. So they just feel ये भी डाल दूँगा, वो भी डाल दूँगा, I will write this, that, and I ऐसा नहीं होता है. If it is related to your theme of your research, then it is useful. Otherwise, the objective of your research is very important. What is your title of thesis is not much important. What your objective, what is the issue you are dealing is important. So once the newcomer just see your book and see your objective of your thesis, he or she will get an idea, and that objective will tell the inside story of your black book. Okay, your title is just the title of your work. That is not much important, but your objective is very much important. So there is a limitation, scope of limitation is there. That means you have to do this. This is what do or do not. Okay, so and that's why you have that research ethics. That one aspect is there in our research. So that research ethics is also important. I think Professor Wagh will talk about research ethics. So that part is telling you, you have to do this, you should not do this. So norms are given. What is good for your work, what is not good for your work. What is your limitation? Limitation means you should not cross your limitation. So boundaries are there. And then, of course, you will, once you plan everything, you design with the methods, then your chapterization is there. The chapterization is nothing but you are dividing your ideas in 5-6 sections. So introduction, then whatever the relevant chapter you give, whether it is 4, 5, 6 or 10, some people give more than 6, it is up to researcher. So the chapterization means you are dividing your ideas, and then once you give the chapterization, you have to talk, you have to give the expected results or the policy implication, that is your finding, your contribution. What you find, as I said, if I chosen the topic philosophy of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, then whatever has already done on Babasaheb Ambedkar, I should not write only that much. I have to give something additional about it. As I wrote a book on Mahatma Phule. People knows that Mahatma Phule as a social reformer. I introduced Phule as a philosopher, and thankfully UGC has accepted Phule as a philosopher. Since 1970, the argument is going on whether Phule is a philosopher or not. And during my book review seminar, the Pune Professor More had come, and he said that this is a long issue, and Dr. Archana has proved that ultimately that Phule is a philosopher. This is my contribution. So I introduce Phule means my work. I introduce means my work. Introduce Phule as a philosopher. That is our contribution, researchers' contribution. What is sociological aspect? Everything, yes, of course, socio-political philosopher, social philosopher, we can say that. Dr. Ambedkar, socio-political philosopher. Without the social aspect, without the political aspect, Dr. Ambedkar is incomplete. So he is a socio-political philosopher. So because he has given the social philosophy as well as political philosophy, he has given all the theories. So when you write your research work, when you frame your research work from the beginning, from a point, you have to keep in mind that this is what my finding is, this is what my beginning hypothesis is, this is what I start and this is what my end is. The end is nothing but your contribution. That is more and more important, right? So, and then of course another additional bibliography and all are there. So the format which Professor Wagh has already talked about, the designing part, how to design your work once you finalize your issues or problem of your work or your findings, that is objective of your research, then you need methodology. So I just briefly, those who have missed earlier class, I will just briefly talk about research, because I said when you talk about research methodology, two words are there, research as well as methodology. So research is a new finding, and aim of objective of research, there is a research, okay. So nature of research method, aim of objective is there. Systematic study is there. Systematic study of what? Variables. Okay. So whatever variable you have chosen, whether 2, 3, 4 or more than that, so you have to stick with that. Then your objective of research is that you start with a hypothesis and you use the various methods. There are many methods. Some, I tell you, in philosophy, we can't see that there is a unique method in philosophy. Sometimes we say that we don't use any methodology, but ultimately, of course, what we are doing will come under this section. So various methods are there to design your research idea. So regarding the format, there are some questions I saw in your earlier paper, like in which of the following reporting format is finally prescribed? Doctorate level thesis, conference researcher, workshop, synopsis and all. So when you talk about the research format is not given for any conference or workshop or symposia. Format is given for thesis, doctoral thesis, okay. Then of course, as I say that once you finalize your issue, once you have aim and objective of your research work, then you have to analyze the material which is relevant. So that is literature review, and this literature review is nothing but only by a patient review of the previous related researches will you be able to formulate a satisfactory structure for your project. That's why I say you can't read any books, literature, you will choose only which is important for your work. So you will review that literature only. As I said, once I accept this is what my issue or objective of the research, this is what I want to do, so I have to stick with my literature as well. So review of the previous research is nothing but what? It's information you are getting through primary sources, secondary sources and other sources. So you have to visit the library, okay. Many unfortunately, as Professor Wagh always talk about this, and I heard his lectures, and he always tell what students are not doing this or that. That's a fact. Nowadays students are not going library, but they are completely relied on the Google Baba, which is there everywhere. the small device which everybody has, that is called mobile, okay, computer, everywhere. So okay, fine, tell me the book, I will search in Google. Are Baba, if you don't go library, if you don't touch the book, you can't smell the book in that online. Once you touch, open it, that's a different thing. Our library is in a mess. University library पूरा धूल पड़ा है, डस्ट इतना है कि जिसको भी अस्थमा नहीं है वो भी बीमार हो जाए, वो अलग, वो बात अलग है. बट इफ यू वांट टू रीड बुक, you don't just based on your this instrument, go and take the book, visit the library, and you can see that you are not when you visit the library, you are not getting that one particular book, you will get ample number of books there which is relevant for your work. So library visit is very, very important. How to see, how to find out your library, there is also methodology. Go to index box, go to author index or the book index and search it. You will get easily. But you have to smell the book, you have to touch, and once the direct contact is there with you and that book, that impression which you will have in your mind has a different result. I don't like to read online because I don't know, I can't bear. चश्मा तो डबल चश्मा लग जाएगा. It's difficult to read online. But if you have a hard copy with you, please do it. So literature review is nothing but you are collecting data through primary and secondary and other sources. And a library is a storehouse of all the kinds of data collection. You will get primary, secondary sources, other sources like journals and everything, all the records you will get in library. So library visit is very much important. So format में book this is there. So one also question has come earlier that the format of thesis writing is the same as in paper article, seminar presentation or research dissertation. So format of, in the beginning only I said that format of PhD thesis and MPhil dissertation. I tell you, I am sorry to say this, but I tell you, many of the researchers come, future researchers come to us and they said, madam, dissertation होता है या thesis होता है? Confusion होता है. Initial stage में I can understand कि there is a confusion. But once you know that MPhil में we do dissertation and the PhD में we do thesis, then once you have that knowledge, many times your teacher is already told you, and in future again if you make the mistake, that means you are not attentive. आपका माइंड कहीं और है, you are not so much serious about the work. So you have to keep in mind that MPhil dissertation and PhD thesis format is same. Okay. So there are some questions on research format. Just now I told you. Now when you talk about research, so I told you the term research is that refinding or again, that re means again or find. So you are doing something which is already done by some other researchers. So research is a logical and systematic search to gain a new information, finding or knowledge on a particular topic. Okay, so research has some steps like the that first and foremost identification of research problem comes, then literature review, then specifying the purpose of your research. Okay, which I said that format is nothing but this methodology, the structure, not methodology, structure, that identification of research problem, then literature review, then specifying the purpose of your research, aim and objective of your research, then you have to conceptualize the framework, okay, and then hypothesis you have to choose, and methodology of your data collection, methodology of your research, right? And then of course your new findings comes and new result will be there in your research. So some of the questions are there on the concept of research. Okay, so the research is always, there are three things are very important. You can say characteristics. it is, of course, research is empirical as well as theoretical as well as experimental. It's nothing but empirical, theoretical, experimental. This is nothing but the methods which I will talk soon. Then when you talk about the research is what? Verifying the old knowledge, exploring the new knowledge, okay, and filling the gap between old and new. See, very easy, right? So you will have many choice options will be there. So if you know the meaning of research, you will say that all three are there. All the three means the research. So first and foremost, yes, verifying the old knowledge, exploring your new knowledge, and then filling the gap between old and new. That means your contribution comes. So this is what nothing but the research. So first step of research is what? You have to identify your problem or search your problem. So you will have many options. You should know the main, because see these 4 or 5 options, 4 options are there. Like KBC mein Mr. Bachchan has given 4 options. So sometimes we are confused because some options are very close, some are little close, and some are very close. So you should know which is more close to your topic. So whatever the question is on, you have to have an idea. So so you can summarize the meaning of research as an attitude or inquiry. It's an investigation, and it is a scientific and objective effort made to uncover facts, hence requires the application of methods, and that we can say scientific method also. There are many definitions that given. I have not got any question on definitions. I am just omitting that part. So characteristics which I said that it is a scientific method, requires the use of scientific procedure, and it requires method as well as procedure. The results of information that we get through scientific methods and finding of research may not be an immediate solution. See, your finding is not immediate, it's a long process, okay, which has a academic relevance of a problem. See, when you are doing research, okay, whether it is MPhil or PhD research, it has a academic relevance, right? So good research findings and reports help in decision making. So many research, earlier research has there, a very good quality research is there. The government are using that research. So that research is helpful to get the decision, to have a decision. So your research should be influential, practical, okay. Now there is objectives of research. So research objective is what? Research objective enhance through its impartiality, through reliability and validity. So authenticity of your research, genuine work of your research finding is objectivity, okay. It's not the title of your paper, title of your research. So it is objectivity, shows the authenticity of your research work. So the depth of any research can be judged by objective of the research. The point which I am putting before you is the possibility of the questions, okay. So please pay attention carefully. So I am repeating again, it's not a title of your research or total expenditure of your research, how much you are spending money for your particular research, or visiting the libraries, you are doing survey, or you are visiting many libraries, you are going here and there. So it is not depend on how much you are spend money or expenditure of your work, or how much duration you have spent for your particular research. It is completely judged by the objectivity of the research, okay. So authenticity of research finding is nothing but the objectivity of research. So research is to search for truth of any problem or any issues. So the first step of research is identification of problem, and a common test of research demand is, yes of course, reliability, usability and objectivity. All three are important demands for your research. Okay. Now, what is the main objective of your research? If anybody asks, then to discover new facts or to make a fresh interpretation to know whatever the issue you have chosen for your or problem you have chosen for your research work. So discover new facts or to make fresh interpretation of known. This is what the objectivity of your research, not the review of literature, not summarize what is already known, or it is not just the academic degree. It is to discover new facts. This is what your new interpretation, fresh interpretation, which is already known. This is what the objectivity of your research. Now, so the mandatory requirement to pursue your research is what? Formulating a research question. Okay. Then research is not just a process, it's a systematic process. It is a process for problem oriented. Okay. So a research problem, one of the question was there earlier said me, a research problem is feasible only when it has a utility and relevance, it is a researchable, it is a new and add something to knowledge. So all three are actually necessary in research problem, because whatever you are choosing your research problem or issue, it must be utility and it should have a utility and relevance in the society. It is researchable. As I said that once I did the particular work on particular thinker, future researcher can take the same topic and do further research and get the new findings. That possibility is always there. So new knowledge, addition of new knowledge is important for research. So that means research means what? Research leads to discovery. Okay. It is objective, can be worded in a question form. In research, objectives can be worded in a statement form, or objectives are to be stated in chapter 1, first chapter of your thesis. So whatever the objective you have for your research work, in chapter 1 you have to put that objective in chapter 1 of your thesis. You can put in a statement form or a question form, but in chapter 1 you have to put the objective of your research. Sometimes students are confused what they have to write in chapter 1. They just talk about what is whatever the issue they have. See, like in our philosophy discipline, nowadays yoga is very most wanted subject. I always say that most wanted subject, because everybody wants to do research on yoga. But when somebody comes to me and said, madam, I want to do something on yoga, so I always ask them, what do you want to do? Yeah, yoga is Indian psychology. People have done that, it's good for health, mental health, physical health and all. Beyond that, what do you want to do? Okay, something new you have to. So then when they frame the chapterization, then they have a question what I should write in first chapter. So to give all the definition, of course you have to explain everything. But what your work, objectivity of your work, that is the important part of your chapter 1 that you have to keep in mind. So researchers should keep in mind some important things. As in the process of research, there are two individuals are very important, researcher and a guide. Okay. Now I always say that both individuals have a freedom. As the researcher, the candidate has freedom to choose a guide, even guide has a freedom to choose the candidate. I used to say many times that your freedom you have to choose in a right way. Okay? Always, wherever you are, whatever you are, you choose your freedom in a right. So, as a researcher कोई भी नहीं बन सकता. So, there are some important things regarding the researcher. What is the essential quality of that researcher is, of course, that spirit of free inquiry must be there. Then he or she has to rely on observation and evidence. Without observing or getting the evidence, you can't move ahead. Or you have to systematize or theorize the knowledge. All three aspects are very much important for the researcher's qualities. Then the important prerequisite of researcher in sciences, social sciences and humanities are, of course, supervisor, that guide is important, topic is important, critical analysis is also important, and patience. There are options like laboratory skill. Every time we can't go laboratory because it is depend on which method you are using. Okay, so supervisor, topic, critical analysis and your patience is very much important. Okay, you should not be impatient. You should not always be angry with your guide or your research student, because that patience is very important, because it's a long-term relation between supervisor and the researcher. Okay, this relation is long term. Okay, till the end of your life it will continue, but it's depend. If you are just using like ऐसे ही, okay fine, this is what the duration of my work, तब तक मैंने काम कर लिया, उसके बाद I don't know who is that fellow of my supervisor. This attitude you should not have. Okay, so research can be conducted by a person who studied research methodology. Now see, everybody can't do research. There are some smart people come before us many times. I said, हाँ वही करना है ना, हम लोग पढ़ते हैं, वो क्या होता है, पहले का ही लिखा होता है, वो हम कर लेंगे. Then they don't understand the difference between class notes. Okay, they don't understand the research notes जो हम बाद में additional पढ़ के निकालते हैं. Some people feel the class note डाल दिया, हो गया, बहुत लिख लिया. So without knowing the methodology, you can't do research. Okay, it's a very important part for the researcher. So researcher should know the methodology, and researcher must possess analytical ability. This is the quality should researcher have. Analytical ability. आपको analysis करना आना चाहिए. आपको problem को analysis करना आना चाहिए. Otherwise, research will be difficult for researcher. So research can be conducted by a person who has studied research methodology. So not just your postgraduate degree is not more than sufficient. Your PET or your eligibility test for PhD or MPhil is not more than sufficient. Okay, your ability to think is not more than sufficient, or your hard work is not more than much sufficient. Methodology is more important for researchers. Keep in mind that. So ultimately, what is research design? So methods you will use, what method you will use. There are many methods. I will talk just few minutes. I will spend the related things, and then as I said, I will take the topic and possible question. I will take one by one, so it will be easy to you to understand what I am talking about. So when you are talking about the research design, the methodology, when you use, you are doing the, you are actually designing your thought or the issues which you have planned for your work. So it is nothing but a framework for every stage of the collection of analysis of data. Actually, whatever idea you are putting on your work is nothing but you are reading the material, you are getting the data, okay, whether from the primary sources or other sources, you are just analyzing the data. I talk about the data collection, that you method of observation and data collection, that how you get the primary and secondary sources through interviews and the survey and questionnaire and all. I have already talked about. So you can analyze your literature through this kind of observation on data collection. So ultimately there is a hypothesis, there are variables, many questions are there on hypothesis and variables. I am not touching that part here. So briefly, what research is there, research problem is there, research format is there, and the format are nothing but the following the methodology, that means designing your thought. Okay, so first step is identify your problem, then your research problem should have the social relevance. Okay, of course it must have an academic relevance. If your option is there, it should have a social relevance. Okay, so research problem is not possible if you have two dependent and independent variable. That variable part I am omitting, I told you. Okay, so research problem is selected from the standpoint of researchers' interest. And last time also I have told that researchers' interest is very, very much important. If you do not have that kind of interest, then the work will be difficult for the researchers, because ultimately you have to work. Guide or supervisor will just show you the path or the systematic method he will talk about or she will talk about. They will guide you, but ultimately work you have to do. So your interests play a very much important role, and that's why I always request the other guides that you should not force to students that you do this or that. Just find out what they want to do and just systematize their ideas and thought with your experience. So see what kind of research the person can do. So your interest, researchers, your interest is very much important. Then there is a sampling and topics which are madam has already done. So I am completely omitting that part. That is not my topic of discussion for this session. Now come to the you may have a question on data collection. Okay, you will have the characteristics one side and the data collection in other side. End of the session I will repeat again what kind of question are there for this. Now come, once I finish the research, what the meaning of research and what the researcher's ability should be, okay, and the limitation and whatever required steps are there. Now come to methodology. So now research methodology. So methodology is nothing but the instrument for the growth and development of knowledge. And knowledge is what? New knowledge of old knowledge. Don't forget that, because you are bridging the gap between old knowledge to new knowledge. That is the objective, research objective. So methodology is a vital instrument for the growth of development of knowledge. So method is used to describe the way in which fruitful starting points and procedure are determined, and the study of methods is called methodology. So method is the starting point. Okay, so the procedure is nothing but the methodology. So you have to choose your starting point, whether it's a historical, whether it is an analytical method, whether it is the other method. So you have to choose the method and you have to proceed. Sorry for interruption. And the process is nothing but the methodology. So I earlier session may I talk about with the few things for the research methodology, if you break that. Now come to methodology part. Now there are many methods, I tell you, and if you have already visited the old papers, you have you can have an idea about how many methods are there. But we are not using all the methods for our work. We select certain methods. Okay, we proceed through with that instrument and try to design our work. So research methodology. To know the research methodology, first and foremost, we should know what is research. Then we should do the literature review, so data collection, that kind of things are there. And then objective of your work is very much important. So now come to the methods. There are many divisions of methods. In initial stage में we divide method as practical and theoretical. Okay, we always call Indian philosophy it's a synthesis of practice and theory. So we have theory as well as practice. So research is practical and theoretical. So Indian ethics, especially I teach Indian ethics a paper, and many times I talk about that ethics, Indian ethics is a synthesis of theory and practice. What is that? Because Indian thinker, whatever the Indian ethics is, the thinker studied that path not only in a theoretical way, but they are also talking about the practical way. So research, two types of research can be done to develop the thesis or dissertation, that is practical or theoretical. So practical approach consists of the empirical study of the topic under research and chiefly consists of hands-on approach. This involves first-hand research in the form of questionnaire, survey, interviews, observation and discussion. Theoretical research, it is a non-empirical approach to research. This usually involves pursuit of mostly published works, like researching through archives of public libraries, published academic journals. So primary sources are mostly important for the theoretical research. Let me just give simple example. In Western ethics, whenever I talk about the ethics, in Western ethics, ethics is talking about the pleasure as the ultimate end of life. They are giving the utilitarian theory and all, but they are not emphasizing on practice. But when you come to Indian ethics, like we have one side Buddha's Ashtanga Marga. Buddha has not just talk about the Nibbana. Okay, that is the fourth truth. That he has given a fourth truth. That there is a suffering. Ultimate truth is there. There is a cause of suffering. There is a cessation of suffering. Okay, and the margas are given. So the four theories are there, principles are there, but he is not just talking about. Buddha has not just talk about. He literally practiced it. So he simply said that, Buddha simply said that those who practice, everybody can become an awakened soul. Anybody can become a Buddha, awakened soul. So this simple statement is nothing but the practical approach. If you practice, you will definitely reach to that Nibbana state, ultimate peaceful state of mind. Okay, so here in Indian ethics, we are not just having the theories of Purushartha or theories of Sukha, pleasure and all. We also have a practical approach. So research can be done in these two, can develop in these two way, that practical and theoretical research. Okay, like many people, as I said, yoga, they are talking taking the area for specialization. So there is a practical approach is also, not just the theory is there, the practical approach is there. If you practice, then only you can understand theory. Theory without practice incomplete. Okay, so that researcher should know. Now different classification are there, as I said that. So classification of research by purpose is basic versus applied research. And research and development, evaluative research is there. Then classification of research by method, we have historical, we have descriptive, we have experimental. One by one I will talk about this. Okay, so there are many types of research. You will have many questions on this, that many types of research are there. So research can be classified as basic, applied, action research, quantitative, qualitative research, philosophical, historical, survey, experimental research. Okay, so these are all research. So if you have such kind of option, you can't choose any one, because these are all the methods. Okay, so you will have the option that all of the above, so you have to choose that option. Then you may have another question, like you may have a question like observation, survey, philosophical, historical. Observation is not a method of research. Observation is a method for data collection, right? So that observation is related to a data collection. It is not a method of research. Keep in mind that. So if you see the list of methods, there are many methods, because new developments are there. So additional methods, every time the researcher will add new methods. So ultimately, in general, we can have the words like fundamental research, applied research, action research, qualitative quantitative research, philosophical phenomenological research, historical research, applied research, and many more are there. What is that? I will do which is more important for your paper 1, that is NET, SET and PET. Okay, that much part I will take. The most important when you talk about the research, we say that research is a systematic study and it is a scientific study. Okay, it is a logical study, logical and scientific. So first and foremost, the one important method comes, and that is called scientific method. As our discipline is humanity, like history, philosophy and other disciplines belongs to humanities, we don't follow the scientific method. But just for your information, because you are dealing with the research methodology unit, so you should know the scientific, what is the scientific methodology is. So the scientific method is the standardized way of making observation, gathering data, forming theories, testing predictions and interpreting results. So researchers should make observation in order to describe and measure behavior. Now the scientific method, there are some key description for the scientific method. It is a empirical observation, so we can say it is an empirical method. Okay, so scientific method is empirical. Then replicable experiments, provisional results are there, objective approach is there, and systematic observation is there. Okay, so there is a systematic sequence of scientific research, that first and foremost you will have many options. Okay, so you should have an idea about what is the systematic sequence of scientific method. And the systematic method, scientific method is first and foremost defining a problem, identify the cause of the problem, then that drawing a sample, that's sample topic madam has already done, collecting your data and collection, and analyze your result. This is the systematic sequence of scientific method. So ultimately the very important characteristics of scientific research is, it is empirical research, it is theoretical, as well as it is experimental research. I repeat again, it is empirical, it is theoretical, as well as it is experimental. Okay, so the aim of the scientific method is what? Eliminate false relation. Okay, it is not just improve your data interpretation, it is not just confirm your integration or triangulation, or your introduce new variables. The main aim of this scientific method is eliminate that false relation. The word which is there in your paper is that spurious relation. That is a false relation between the variables. So aim of the scientific method is observe and describe, predict determination of the cause, explain the aims of research can then be fine-tuned or may serve to open up a new areas of interest. Either way, the store of human knowledge has been enriched and increased. Okay, so scientific method is theoretical, it's empirical, and it is experiment. Okay, so this much you have to keep in mind for your paper 1. Then another classification we get, and many times we heard the word, when we talk about the research methodology, the word comes like qualitative and quantitative. I am taking in very briefly, okay, whatever is important for your direction. Now, what is qualitative and quantitative? Qualitative research is one which provides insights and understanding of the problem setting. It is an unstructured exploratory research method that studies highly complex phenomena that are impossible to elucidate with the quantitative research, although it generates ideas or hypotheses for later quantitative research. So qualitative research is used to gain an in-depth understanding of human behavior, experience, attitudes, intention and motivation on the basis of observation and interpretation, to find out the way people think and feel. Okay, it is a form of research in which the researchers gives more weight to the views of the participants. So you can do a case study, grounded theories are there, historical aspects are there, phenomenology are the types of qualitative research. Now our philosophy comes under I say there is not a single unique philosophical research, philosophical method we have, but qualitative philosophical method. Yeah, actually we are doing a qualitative because we can't give a statistical data and all. So you can choose the issues like ethical issues or metaphysical issues or epistemological issues. Okay, and you can do the depth study. You can theorize the theory which I has already given, okay, and do the quality research. You can do the quality research on that. So quality research is done to study the phenomena that can be explained beyond numbers. Okay, you can't give a statistical data there, and in just a qualitative manner. So qualitative is usually inductive in nature, like behavioral science can do that. You can just go with some instances and you can derive the universal conclusion. Okay, begins with the social reality followed by the construction of the theory around it. So there is a statistical software to study qualitative phenomena. It is called SPSS, that you can just study further. Okay, so examples are, you can behavior science, like you can just do the research on any disease or any क्या बोलते हैं उसको challenge, physically challenged or mentally challenged people. Like you can take the study of cerebral palsy students. You can do the study of any psychic person which has a disease, they are mentally disturbed. So you can just observe and you can go in detail. Okay, try to understand the phenomena and move ahead. So you can do the qualitative research in that area. Now what is quantitative research? It is a form of research that relies on the methods of natural sciences, which produce numerical data and hard facts. It aims at establishing cause and effect, okay, relationship between two variables by using mathematical and statistical methods. The research is also known as empirical research, as it can be accurately and precisely measured. Now see, with these methods, you have other word like empirical method, non-empirical method. So you may have a question, on that like quantitative research is also is the empirical research. Okay, so you should know that this is also a empirical research. If you have an option, if you know this information, if you have, then definitely you choose the correct answer. So data collected by the researcher can be divided into categories or put into rank, or it can be measured in terms of units or measurement, graphs and tables. Raw data can be constructed with the help of quantitative research, making it easier for the researcher to analyze the result. So it's in a deductive nature, quantitative in a deductive, start with the general, reach to a particular. So statistical concepts and software I just now talk about. So there are a few questions I saw in your question paper on the basis of qualitative and quantitative, and the questions are: in qualitative research paradigm, which of the following feature may be considered critical? Now there are some options like data collection with standardized research tool, sampling design with probability sample techniques, or data gathering to take place with top-down systematic evidence. So now here the research paradigm is data collection with bottom-up empirical evidence, because you are talking about qualitative, and qualitative is also empirical. Okay, research. Then the term phenomenology is associated with the process. So I said phenomenology, like philosophy, research discipline, is a qualitative research. It's not just analyzing or relating, or there is no using the probability sampling, but it's a qualitative research. So there are words like this in your question. So qualitative and quantitative, that kind of method is also there. Now I think historical method is also, if I am not mistaken, it's also quantitative, because they are talking about the past evidence. So many evidence you can give, so you can give a number of instances. So now the next classification we can have, that historical, descriptive and experimental research. We have experimental and non-experimental research also. So before we go for that, just talk briefly about historical, descriptive and what is experimental research. So historical research is what the history teachers and students are here, so they know very well than me. So historical research describes what was in the past. The process involves investigation, recording, analyzing and interpreting the events of the past for the purpose of discovering generalization that are helpful in understanding the past and the present, and to a limited extent in anticipating the future. That yesterday Professor Wagh very nicely talked about what is history, and I really appreciate that special session on the concept of history. So history is talking about the past events, and we are learning from the past. Actually it's a lesson for future, so we should know the history, then only you can make the future. So it is a research. So characteristics is the research which is exploring new facts through the study of the past is called historical method. And the data collection is using for data methods is primary and secondary. You can get the historical documentation from primary as well as the secondary sources, and formulation of hypotheses may not be required in historical method. There is one question came many times regarding the hypothesis in historical method, so it may not be possible in historical method. So then we have a descriptive research. So what the method talk about? Descriptive research describe records, analyze and interprets the condition that exist, practices that prevail, beliefs, points of view or attitudes that are held, process that are going in, effects that are being felt, or trends that are developing. So it involves some type of comparison or contrast, and attempts to discover relationship between existing non-manipulated variables. So it can be various types like survey studies, interrelationship studies, causal comparative studies, development studies. So you can use this descriptive research in any ways, like survey study you can do a causal comparative relation, development studies may also you can use this descriptive research. So some of the method used for descriptive research are field survey, case studies and interviews. When you are choosing particular issues of your problem of your research, then of course you can survey, you can directly have a contact with the people, you can question or take an interview to get a material, direct material. Okay, so you can use that tool and you can describe the problem in detail. Okay, so the qualitative study undertaken to learn about the preference of people to use in rural area nowadays the Swachha Abhiyan Bharat mein the toilets the government has said that everywhere toilets must be there. So they are giving that qualitative study regarding these issues, so they can describe the issues and they can give the results as well, solution as well. So descriptive research may manipulation is always a part of descriptive research. Fieldwork based research is classified as descriptive research. So the research which is exploring new facts through the study of the past is not descriptive, it's a historical. Okay, manipulation is always a part of descriptive research. Okay, and the category which some research are the development of research, like philosophical research, action research, descriptive research. These are all the development of methods. So all are the development of methods. Basically, if you see the purpose of method, you will have a basic or fundamental methods, or you can have applied methods. If you see the research, use of research, you can have a theoretical or practical research, you can have a qualitative or quantitative research for social sciences, then scientific method is also there, then we have empirical or non-empirical research. Okay, based on the method you can also have a fundamental research, applied or action. Then philosophical research, that word is not there, so it is nothing but the new development of research. So action research and applied research, this is all nothing but the non-empirical methods. So you have such kind of questions there. Then one more classification is there, like research is either experimental or non-experimental research. So what is the meaning of experimental research? Experimental research describes what will be when certain variables are carefully controlled or manipulated. The focus is on variable relationship. So experimental research is the description and analysis of what will be or what will occur under carefully controlled condition in which one factor is varied and the others are kept constant and can be repeated by another investigator, by the same investigator on another occasion with nearly identical research. So experiment like doctoral studies is actually a experimental study. Now the COVID-19, this situation is there all over India. So doctors are struggling, doctors are doing research, and they are doing the experiments. Okay, they are trying to get the solution for the problem, right? They are doing experiments. So doctor study is actually the relative effectiveness of two drugs, whether it's apply or not apply, like any fever, like now dengue fever or malaria fever or any other fever. So this doctor's research would be classified as a experimental method. Now this classification is depend on the nature of research. So experimental research is one where the independent variables can be directly manipulated by experiment. So it is further divided into laboratory experiment or field experiment. So you can do experiment in laboratory, or you can visit the field and experiment there also. So experimental method is of two kinds, laboratory and field experiment. Okay, so the process which is not needed in experimental research is observation. Doctor study can be says that experimental research, and experimental study is based on the manipulation of variables. That these things you have to keep in mind, because most of the question comes only on these points for regarding experimental method. Okay, so the research that applies the laws at the time of field study or to draw more and more clear ideas about the problems is also experimental research, because you are going the field. Okay, so it's a field experiment, so it is also a experimental research. As we have one side experimental research, on other side we have a non-experimental research. I remember while doing my data observation methods, that time one person has wrote me, kindly talk about ex post facto research, and somebody said about the talk about the literature review and all. I think now the whatever request come that time, I might be cover that request in this session. So non-experimental research is what? Non-experimental research is one where independent variable cannot be manipulated and therefore cannot be experimentally studied. Okay, manipulation of variable is there in experimental method, not non-experimental method. So non-experimental research can be divided into three, that is field study, ex post facto research and survey research. What is that we will discuss. Now what is field study? It is a study which systematically discovers relation and interaction among variables in real life situations such as school, factories, community, colleges. In field study, the investigator depends upon the existing condition of a field situation as well as upon the selection of subject for determining the relation among variables. Nowadays, field study is very important. Now, if you are using like that university level, the people are doing the research. Sometimes topic require the field study. Like if you are doing Vipassana meditation, research on Vipassana meditation or yoga meditation, you have to go the society, those who are following the method, you have to do a field study, you have to visit the centers, and you can have you can get the data in detail. So that is very helpful or useful method, field study. Then ex post facto method is what? Ex post facto study, in this investigators attempt to trace an effect which has already occurred to its probable causes. The effect becomes the dependent variable and the probable causes become the independent variable. Now here the data collection method is typical characteristic test is required, and the researchers intends to explore the effect of possible factor for the organization of like effective midday meal intervention. That person need ex facto post facto study. What is the meaning that ex facto is? After the fact research is category of research design in which the investigators start after the fact has occurred without interference from the researcher. So see, this is post facto study. So an ex post facto research design is a method which groups which qualities that already exist are compared or some dependent variable. Okay, so ex facto means from what is done afterwards. In the context of social and educational research, this after the fact or retrospectively research or action is nothing but the ex post facto research. Okay, so refers to those studies which investigate possible cause and effect relationship by observing an existing condition or state affairs or searching back in time for possible causal factors. So events are already done. After that you are doing the research, that is what the X factor. So the independent variable is not manipulated in this case. Researcher has little to no control over independent variable, and it's a flexible by nature. Okay, so what it is a causal comparative research, because effect is already done. Now you are comparing the two causes, and it's a comparative research of the particular problem. Okay, so first step is to identify and define the particular phenomena of interest and consider possible causes. Okay, so because it's already, effect is already done, so you have to know the possible causes of the effect, right? So that is what the comparative research. Then there are no limits on the types of instrument that are used in causal comparative research. This causal comparative research is not ex post facto research. You don't have a limit. No limit is there for types of instrument. You can use anything. So a researcher attempts to evaluate the effect of method of feeding and anxiety pronesis of children. Okay, so which method of research would be appropriate for that? So now you are evaluating the effect. So it is nothing but the ex post facto method, right? The study in which the investigator attempt to trace an effect is known as ex post facto research. Keep in mind that. So the researcher, ex post facto research means what? The researcher is carried out after the incident, not before the incident, because incident is already happened. After that, the researcher is carried out the research after the incident. So a researcher intends to explore the effect of possible, as I given midday meal investigation, then child example. So this is nothing but ex post facto method. So field work is nothing but the empirical. Okay, ex post facto and survey method. Okay, field visit method, survey method is non experimental method which we are discussing. So survey method, I think I have talked. Survey method is what? It is a technique where the investigator or researcher studies the whole population with respect to certain sociological and psychological variables. Depending upon the ways of collecting data, survey research can be classified into categories like personal interviews, main questionnaire, panel technique, and you can do a telephonic survey also. So it is nothing but the descriptive method. You are doing the survey like during this COVID-19, we have worked little bit for the society on behalf of Department of Philosophy, and for that I have told my security staff, can you just survey how many numbers of laborers are here in the university. I tell you, before this survey, I had an idea only, I think only 50, 60, 70 laborers must be here inside university. But once I told my security staff, and they literally counted each and every laborers, ultimately we got that we have more than 250 laborers inside. They are staying inside university. We can see just very few झोपड़ी and झुग्गीज inside, and on that basis I said शायद 50 होंगे 60 होंगे. But I have no idea there are many झोपड़ीज inside in the all corner of university, because I have not visited personally. So my staff literally went to all the corner of university, they survey, and they got the so ultimately what I found, I got the information that this is what the number of people are there, laborers are there. So this is nothing but the survey method. So you can question, you can use the questionnaire, you can have an interview regarding the problem, and you will use this method for your work. So that is what? Non-experimental method, that is field study, ex post facto and survey method. Then we have another category of method that is called fundamental or pure or basic research, applied research and action research. Okay, so fundamental, what is the fundamental research? Fundamental research is the formal and systematic process where the researcher aims is to develop a theory or a model by identifying all the crucial variables in the situation and by discovering broad generalization and principles about these variables. So every philosophy, every thinker, every system has some fundamental theories, basic theories. Okay, on the basis of that basic theories, the further researcher can develop another principle, that is nothing but the fundamental or pure basic research. Applied research applies that theory or model, develop theories, but to test those existing theories in actual problem situation. So they find out the application of that fundamental theories. And the action research has recently been popular in the field of social psychology, industrial psychology and education. In the action research, researchers focus upon the immediate, okay, it's a immediate consequence and application of a problem, of a theory or a model. So fundamental, basic theory, then the application, the applied research is there and the action research are there. So this classification is there. Let me just, because there are many questions on these methods, fundamental as well as fundamental, basic, applied and action research. Now fundamental research, also known as a basic or pure research, keep in mind meaning. Then this kind of research help to generate new information in a fundamental fashion. Now fundamental research can take shape in two ways, either in the form of new theory or development of some existing theory. Okay, like Darwin's theory of evolution, Newton's theory of gravitation, these are all fundamental theories, right? In our philosophy, especially as I am my specialization is logic, so there are three fundamental principles in logic, and the whole logic, whether it is a symbolic logic, whether it is a mathematical logic, whether it is a traditional logic, the three principles are there, and the three fundamental principles are the law of identity, law of contradiction, law of excluded middle. Okay, these are the three. On the basis of that fundamental, there are many theories are developed. Okay, so this fundamental theory is actually a basic principles you have, and you can the new researcher can develop these theories in a new direction. So fundamental research reflects the ability to expound new principles. Okay, now as I took the example of logic, now modern logicians use the symbols for identity, use the symbols for excluded middle, that is either or, they have reinterpret that new principle they have introduced, okay, and contradiction, that P dot not P. So the development is there. Ultimately fundamental basic concepts, basic theories are there, and the researchers develop into new way and they introduce the new theories on the basis of that basic fundamentals. So it's ultimately expound new principles. So examples you may have in your exam, like Newton's theory, I told the example have already come in your last previous papers, like Darwin's theory and Newton's theory. This is nothing but the example of fundamental research. So the principle of fundamental research are used in applied research. Okay, so it's not used in historical research, it's not used in a philosophical research, but applied. How to apply in life, that practical, I can say that fundamental is theoretical and applied is practical approach. Okay, so applied research is what? Applied research is useful because it provides convincing evidence to the usefulness of basic research of theory. If I am talking the fundamental principle of like Nibbana, okay, so this is a theory given by Buddha, enlightened soul. But without application, how can I reach to that state of Nibbana or Nirvana, ultimate state of mind? So Buddha has given a path. He has given the 4 principles, the noble truths. Okay, the principles are fundamental principles of Buddhism is there. Okay, it has application. So if you apply, then definitely that theory you are applying in life, and you are adding the thing that yes, if you can apply that method, if you can apply that path, if you can follow the path, then definitely you will also get, we can also have that status of mind. Okay, we can reach to that ultimate goal of life. So that application is based on fundamental research, fundamental principles are there. So questions, such kind of questions are there in your exam. So if a researcher conduct a research on a finding out which administrative style contributing more to institutional effectiveness. Now this will be an example for applied research. Okay, because admin style is actually a applied style. You are applying. Okay, you are following. So that is nothing but the applied. It is not a basic. It is not action. Action is immediate. Okay, so it is not an immediate rule you are giving and you are just following. It is a applied research. What is action research? It is, as name suggested, it's action oriented research which undertake to find an immediate solution to a problem. Okay, so this action research means I can say that this is situational research. Sometimes we have a situation and you have to immediately take the stand, or immediately you have to get action, immediate decision you have to take. Okay, so such kind of research you can say action research. Now action research may also called cycle of action or cycle of inquiry, since it typically follows a predefined process that is repeated over time. Simple illustrative. So identify a problem to be studied, collect data of the problem, organize, analyze, implement the plan, evaluate the result, identify a new problem and repeat the process. That is nothing but the action research is there. So selecting a focus, clarifying theories, identify research question, collect data, analyze data, reporting result and taking informed action. This is nothing but the action research process. So what is the characteristics of action research? It is a research which is important for your paper. The research initiate to solve an immediate problem. A research carry out to solve immediate problem, improving an existing situation through use of intervention. Okay, so action research is a research carried out to solve immediate problem. Action research is a research where if a researcher conduct a research on finding out which administrative style contributes more to institutional effectiveness. So if you want to develop your admin style, so you effectiveness if you want to develop, then you will take the action, follow the action research. Okay, not a basic or applied research you will do. You will immediately use that research. So there is a sequence of action research. First is you have to plan, you have to act, observe and reflect. So you have to planning first, you have to act accordingly, you have to observe what is the result, and the reflection will be there. So these are the steps which is useful for action research. Okay, then yeah, so we have fieldwork study, we have ex post facto, we have survey, then we have fundamental, basic research, applied and action. So these are all the methods. So quickly I can talk about some question which is based on that, like fieldwork based is nothing but the empirical method. It is not historical, it is not biographical, it is not empirical. So it is actually experimental, because experiment is laboratory or field experiment. The other two kinds of experiments are there. The research that applies the laws at the time of field study to draw same experimental research. Okay. there are other methods like evaluative method. I have not got any such question on that, so I'm just omitting that part. Like some evaluating research is there is a find out of the extent of perceived impact or intervention. So that is the characteristics of this one. Now participatory research, that is also a word. It's analytical research which in phenomenal in philosophy we have this analytical research. It is nothing but based on the use of information already available in the researcher and making an analysis of using logic and reasoning. So you are analyzing the everything, whatever the concept, whatever the problems are there, so you are just analyze. That is called analytical. We call it the critical thinking and evaluation. So it requires the critical thinking and evaluation style. So analytical research is that. So that is I have not got any question. Conceptual research is there. So especially philosopher thinker use this conceptual research. So they are analyzing all the concepts. Like I did work on Purushartha, Indian and Western virtue ethics. So I analyzed the concept of Purushartha, then I compared this analytic way in with Aristotelian virtue ethics and Indian theory of Purushartha. So analysis, analytical theory we can apply in philosophy. So a researcher intends to explore the effect, possible factor, organization. These I have already written ex facto. Okay. Now empirical method and all. This is not empirical method I did, I think. Empirical and non-empirical, experimental, non-experimental method. These are the common methods are there for your paper. So quickly I just talk about some question which are there and one few points which are there for important for your research methodology. Let me just give some kind of question, and then one important part which is important for your writing of thesis that I will tell you. So ultimately research is what? Working in a scientific way to search for truth of any problem. So which of the following first step is identification of a problem? So identifying the correct sequence of research is what? Selection of topic, review literature, data collection, interpretation and findings. Okay. So you will have the ulta pulta. You have to just keep in mind that what is the process, the systematic process of your research is. So research can be classified, just now I said basic, applied, action research, quantitative, qualitative, scientific research, philosophical research, historical research, survey research, experimental, non-experimental, fundamental research. So they are all kinds of research. Okay, all are the research methods. If you are not getting any word like that, so that method is not a research method that you can easily answer. So the research which is exploring new facts through the study of past, definitely historical research is that. Then the process not needed in experimental, that content analysis. Manipulation is always there for experimental research. Action research is a research initiated to solve an immediate problem. Okay, so one important point which I would love to talk here, when I say that, one question I saw many times in your earlier previous paper, the words like interdisciplinary. As I said that researcher can do a research on their own discipline, okay, or the researcher can do study interdisciplinary. Like you can compare or you can analyze your discipline with other discipline. So what is interdisciplinary research? It is a research that to bring out a holistic approach. Holistic approach, this word is there in your paper. So what is the meaning of that holistic approach? This research is general and universal approach. Okay, so to reduce the emphasis of a single subject in research domain to oversimplify the problem of research, it is not the interdisciplinary, only to bring out the holistic, that means a general or universal approach is considered the main aim of interdisciplinary research. So interdisciplinary approach of research is the latest innovation in the field of research, that elements of scientific phenomena must be dealt in the integrated form instead of disintegrated form to bring out the concept in a holistic point of view. Okay, so you can do student school problems, maybe a survey by a team of research to dig out the depth, like an educationalist or classroom teacher or doctor, critical psychologist, counselor, or anything. So just now we had the interdisciplinary national seminar on women achievement in academia. So it is women achievement academia. We had the universal approach of achievers of women, so in academia. So that interdisciplinary, you have to keep in mind, it's nothing but to bring out the holistic approach, that is nothing but the universal and general approach. Okay, so very important question. This question came many times in your earlier questions. Now some questions are there, as this is what, once you follow any method, okay, as we are in our faculty is art or humanity, so we have, as a history student, you can use the historical method, survey method, or qualitative quantitative method, any method you can use, like we use analytical method and all in phenomenological method in philosophy. So you have to choose one method to design your work. So research methodology ultimately is a tool to design your work. So once you adopt a certain method, then of course the next is that chapterization and all, one by one you have to structure your ideas. Okay, and the end of the your work, you have to give the bibliography. So some questions are there for bibliography. Bibliography appendix, these are actually additional papers for your research. Okay, it's just additional papers. What bibliography is? Bibliography given in research report, it helps those interested in further research. So if somebody wants to do a research on the same topic which you have done, so they will just see your bibliography, so they can get an idea the which kind of books are available, what you have read, and so what is the material you can directly get from the primary or secondary. So it's a collection of the book which you have read for your research work. So some questions are there, like bibliography means what, shows vast knowledge of the researcher. No. It is not showing your knowledge. It is just showing help those interested in further research. Has no relevance to research or all the above. No, it is simply helping others for further research. Okay. Then in finalizing a thesis writing format, which of the following would form part of supplementary pages? As just now I say, it is a supplementary additional pages, and that is the bibliography and appendix. Okay, it is not a part of your research design, right? Then bibliography given in a research report show a vast knowledge of the researcher, all those interested in further research, just now I told. Now as there are questions on bibliography, as I start with the format of your work, okay, I just start with the introduction, what comes to introduction part, that research and the method, the design. Okay, then of course in the format, that the bibliography is one aspect, one part is there. Of course research ethics is also one part. So what you have to do, what you should not do, that is nothing but you have to follow some norms of writing your research. Bibliography as well as the references. Now when you are giving the references or footnote, the reference format, some questions are there on reference format. Basically we have APA format, we have MLA format, we have Chicago format. So you can choose any one, APA, MLA or Chicago. So you may have given some questions or examples. You have to identify which are the characteristics of APA, or which is the form of APA, systematic style of APA style or MLA style or Chicago style. Okay, so you can give a references in either or. If you are using APA, consistently use the APA style for your research work. If you are choosing MLA style, you choose the MLA or Chicago. So what is that? So what is the APA format? I think usually we use APA format only. Okay, so what is the long form of APA format? It is American Psychological Association. Okay, APA style means the American Psychological Association, and the format is saying the structure of the format. I said you will have a combination, 4 combination, and you will have a course like 2 3 1 1 2 3 or 4 3 1 4 combination you will have, and you have to choose the correct one. If you know APA style of reference format or the structure of the format, you will definitely tick the correct answer. What is that? First, you have a author name. First, the second name comes and the first name, whether it is the initial. Okay, so you have the author surname first, then author first name, then in bracket you have to write year of publication, then title of book, okay, in italic, and then the publisher, city or state. Okay, so this format is a APA format. So you will have a combination, like one example is there, which of the following are the basic rules of APA style of referencing format. So APA style means the American Psychological Association style. So you have a combination ulta pulta. Okay, you have to just keep in mind that in APA style mein year of publication in bracket we always write after the name of the author. Like example is there, like for example my book is on Jyotiba Phule, a modern Indian philosopher. So it will come like, as I use 2 names, it's a irony because of the society. So I use the name Malik Gaure, then Archana comes. Okay, Archana Malik Gaure. Okay, so Malik Gaure, Archana. If I use only A, so I can use only A, comma 2013, my book comes to 2013. Okay, then the title of the book in a italic style, the Jyotiba Phule, a modern Indian philosopher, Italian style, comma, then publisher city and the publisher state. Okay, like Suryodaya publication, Delhi, India, APA style. Okay, then MLA style mein what's the difference? It's not much very little difference is there. Same last name, first name, book title in italic, publisher city, publisher name, but the year of publication comes in. Okay, and then medium, whether it is a print or online. Okay, print form or online form, that comes. So APA style mein you have a year of publication in bracket after the name of the author. MLA style mein you have a publication year and there is no need to put the bracket in MLA style. Okay, so I had the name that MLA style, I had a question on that. Okay, so Chicago is also similar to that one. Same year you have a author name, last name, the first name, year of publication, title work, publisher city and state and publisher. Okay. Okay, I had a name for MLA. Yeah, so 2 questions had come. MLA means Modern Language Association. Long form is there, Modern Language Association format. Okay, so 1 question I saw in a APA format, 1 question I saw in a Modern Language Association MLA style. Okay, so I tell you again, if you choose APA or MLA or Chicago, any style of references, writing the references, choose one consistently and you have to put alphabetically. Okay, so it is, you have to put alphabetically, like A come first, so A, B, C, D. So you are starting with the second name of the author, the surname of the author. So when you are compiling all the references, okay, you have to give one by one, alphabetical order is required for the style. So whether it is APA or MLA, you should know what is APA style or MLA style for research. Okay, and it is related to the references. So I talk about the methodology, and some questions quickly I can go through that, and I will just stop here. Okay, so some possible questions are there, like you may have a research methods, like just now I said experimental, ex facto, non-experimental, descriptive, historical, one side, and you will have a data collection method. Okay, or you may have a methods and the characteristics of that method. Okay, for example, you have a research type, a fundamental research, and the other side you have a characteristics of method. So you have to match and you have to get the correct answer. So without knowing the characteristics, how can you get the correct answer? Tukka is the other way, but I tell you, itna study I have not done during my PhD. For this class I am doing a thorough study. So yes, when you say fundamental research, the characteristic is developing an effective explanation through theory building. So fundamental basic theories are there, no? Okay. Then applied research, exploring the possibility of a theory to use a various situations. The applying, you are using the fundamental theories for application. Then action research, we have a quick simple characteristic, improving an existing situation through use of intervention. You are acting, no, intervention is there. So evaluative research is nothing but finding out the extent of perceived impact of intervention. So you are evaluating that findings. Okay, so such kind of many questions I saw in your earlier exam, the research method and procedure, characteristic, data collection. So experimental method is nothing but manipulating an independent variable in control condition and measuring its effect of independent variable. Then ex facto is observing the effect on dependent variable and making props into factors. Descriptive is describing the word action research, intervention, and improve a given situation. It's a quick action. Okay, so such kind of questions are there. There are many kinds of questions which I am not covering here, but when you are doing the research, there are many fellowships are there. So some questions are there on fellowship also. So every researcher should have the idea about that fellowship as well. So and also this section also talk about the seminars, workshop, and research papers, conference. I think Professor Sandesh has already talked about the how to write the research article and all. So research, when you talk about, so you have to, it's actually necessity to attend such workshops, seminars. Why? Because you can develop your knowledge, because seminar is based on the certain theme. You are getting a detailed knowledge. The whosoever the speakers are, that's a different thing. If speakers are just talking off the track, if he is talking or she talking, that's a different thing. But the aim of that seminar or workshop is to give the more knowledge or depth knowledge of the particular thing. So you should know what is the use of symposia or workshop or researches. And every researcher, if we are all researcher, that's a different thing. We are we got the doctorate degree, but it's a journey still going on. Okay, so we have a urge to know the more about it. तो दिल मांगे more जो हम बोलते हैं, ये it's an ongoing process. So you should students should attend such workshops, seminars and all. Then only you can understand how to use the particular method for writing your, either it's a research paper or article or summary or anything. You can have an idea about it. So I try to give you some important methods, especially historical and expecto survey method and all. And there are many questions are there which based on methods and characteristics, data collection and all. So try to read more about it. And I tell you, research methodology may I can't say this book you have to refer or that book you have to refer, because it's a general paper. But basic knowledge you can have it. I try my best to give you some idea about the method which is to use to design your research work with the particular problem or issues. So you have to keep in mind, you can do a disciplinary research as well as interdisciplinary research. So you have to know the approach of both. You should know the approach and you should know the method as well. It is nothing but the tool to just draw your design, which is there in your, the thought is there in your mind, and that thought you have to put in words, black and white words. So methodology help you to put your thought on that structure of black and white style. So choose one method or many method, but you follow consistently, consciously, and try to do a logical survey of whatever you are doing, whether scientific. So you should be consistent with your thought. Okay, if you contradict your own thought, then where you are going you don't know. So if you are coming with the first draft or a second draft, as guide has always ask you, the now just improve more, you read more and just add more. That means the requirement is there. That means that doesn't mean you are not following the methodology, but you can do more things, additional things. So that's why first, second, third draft and the final draft is there, because it's just the addition. So without knowing the methodology of research, the researcher cannot do a research. That is what the theme of this session. And thank you. Now I stop here. Thank you so much.